What a day. What a day. What a day. Two biggest moves of the offseason introduced to H-Town. Texans miss out on someone we thought they were in on, which leads to questions about Nick Caserio making trades, plus some other perhaps missed opportunities and a lot more. Started out quiet, got active. Let's get into it inside the locker room.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the locker room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey. Locker room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do. We the source. We the pulse of the city too. Landlocked. Got the game in the headlock. Localize every time. Can't stop, won't stop.
Started out kind of quiet, ended up being a pretty eventful day for the Houston Texans. It is the locker room, number one source for Texans daily digital content. I'm Landry Locker. You can hear me Monday through Friday, 10 to 2 Central, Sports Radio 610, and the Odyssey app. We're going to hear from Joe Mixon. Hell of a press conference by Joe Mixon. Maybe we'll hear from Danielle Hunter. I think he's a little bit more about that action, boss. But we will we will check that out and see what's going on with it. And we'll also get into the Arik Armstead thing as well as some other moves that folks have talked about. Cody Stutson, if you're coming in from Cody Stutz channel, thank you very much. I appreciate being able to follow up the king of the stream, the main event. So here we go. Let's get right into it. What happened with the Houston Texans today? The biggest news, and we've been talking about this for a while, after the Malik Collins trade, I think you wondered, okay, they're getting rid of Malik Collins. Does that mean that Arik Armstead is going to end up with the Houston Texans? Well, not only is he not going to end up with the Houston Texans, he signs a 3-year, $51 million deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Arik Armstead will be playing in the AFC South. He's not going to be playing with the Houston Texans. He's playing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I think this is kind of a little bit of a snowball effect. The money is bananas. I mean, he's still getting paid like there's no question marks, as if he doesn't have the injury concerns, which I think is wild. I didn't anticipate that much bread. I think it's a good deal for the Jags, better than the Calvin Ridley deal, which they probably had a little bit extra money because the Calvin Ridley deal fell through. So Armstead goes to Jacksonville. He's going to be in the division. I think Jacksonville benefits in the long run from the Calvin Ridley deal. Originally, we thought it was just the Texans and Jacksonville was hurt, but Jacksonville goes out and gets Armstead. And the question marks remain. Health has been the main concern, but assuming that he's on the field, Jacksonville is getting one of the better interior D linemen in the league. They're getting a guy that can do for Travon Walker what we thought that he could do for Will Anderson. And they're really getting perhaps one of the scarier defensive lines in the league if Armstead's healthy, when you factor in Josh Allen and Walker, although it could be scarier if they would have drafted Aiden Hutchinson. So that it's always going to go back to that. But I think it's expensive for Jacksonville. But if we're talking about this versus the Ridley deal, I think it's a good deal for the Jags. And then the Texans, as NF came through, the Texans were forced to settle with no Armstead. They sign a defensive lineman, Tim Settle, 2 years, $7 million, kind of a little bit of more of a rotational guy. Maybe he surprises you, but I'm not going to try to sell you on Settle. These guys are going to be trying to make the team, trying to help make an impact, but this was not plan one. Arik Armstead ends up with the Jags. It's at the end of the world. No. Why Jags over us? I don't think the Texans were going to give $17 million a year to Arik Armstead. I don't think that was ever going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, if all things equal, I think he perhaps would have picked here, but I mean, the Jags just gave him a really, really good offer that he couldn't refuse. So Armstead is going to be um, with the Jags, which I've seen some of the dialogue on Twitter. I know I saw Pendergast say it. I've seen a couple of people talk about the Malik Collins trade. The Malik Collins trade is now getting criticized because there's, why would you trade Malik Collins if you didn't already have a deal with Armstead? Or why would you trade Malik Collins if you didn't have a plan intact? I mean, of all the times to say it's too early, and I kind of mocked it because it's common sense after day one of free agency that it's obviously early. But of all the times to say something's early, it is March 14th. And the Texans literally don't open the season for a little less than half a year. Yeah, that's kind of depressing when you put it that way. But for a little less than half a year, usually the season starts on about 9/11, 9/10, 9/12, that range. That's the first like full Sunday. They have the Thursday game. It's March 14th right now. So it's not like they have to fill a roster right now. There's going to be other opportunities for defensive linemen. Maybe Malik Collins wasn't part of their plan, but they've added Autry. They've added Danielle Hunter. I don't know what any concern level would be for the Texans trading Malik Collins and not getting Armstead. Now, naturally, you assumed, okay, is it going to be Armstead? But it's not. I don't think this is a big deal at all. Do I think this means they have to draft a defensive lineman in the first round? No, I don't. I think they can find rotational guys and figure some stuff out. Now, if an opportunity presents itself and they feel like there's someone in the draft that they can grab, then cool. But no, I don't think Caserio like made some sort of mistake or anything like that with trading Malik Collins. He probably just wasn't part of their plans. And they didn't offer Armstead. Maybe they didn't anticipate the bread, but they've added some defensive linemen. They got some bodies that, I mean, obviously not of the caliber of Arik Armstead, but I mean, come on. They were apparently in on Rankins and were interested in him. So that kind of tells you all you need to know there. They're going to be active, but no, I don't think this is anything to be critical about. If there's ever a time to say to say that, I don't really know. Bubba Homeschool says, "Hey Landry, how am I blocked already? If you did it, why? If not, please undo it. Thanks." I don't need I appreciate the super chat. I'm assuming that since it's there, you're not blocked. I haven't blocked anyone on here. If there's like some porn stuff or there's a troll thing, I don't know. But yeah, you're definitely not blocked, my friend. I can assure you of that. But appreciate the super chat. There's no blocking. JH, shout out to JH. Appreciate you. On X and media coverage seems to turn on Caserio at the first sign of things not working out during free agency. Why the lack of trust? You're not Skip, by the way. Look, I said this on Tuesday after day one of free agency. It does seem like people are, more than willing to kind of turn on Nick Caserio at the snap of a finger. I think it's just natural fanhood. That's some people, not all. I'm not going to generalize fans, but some folks that they live and die this stuff, and that's why Caserio makes the money he makes. I think he understands that. Nick Caserio doesn't have thin skin, and I also think that although it's not completely his fault, I think the association with Easterby kind of makes people roll their eyes. The way in which sometimes Caserio talks in circles kind of rubs people the wrong way. There's a little bit of word salad. And a lot of times Nick Caserio has had to be the face of problems that, quite frankly, he didn't create. He's having to go face the media when there's a restless, up in arms fan base, and he's kind of taking it on the chin, and that's just kind of the consequence that comes from it. But I don't I think his approval rating, for the most part, I think it's probably high. If you ask people, do you approve of Nick Caserio? I think it'd be probably in the 80s. But yeah, I just think it's a representation of fanhood. It's a representation of people being excited. It's a representation of people getting greedy about free agency. And I don't think that there's too much reason to be mad about Nick Caserio, especially not on this thing with Malik Collins. There's been little things here and there that you could criticize Nick about, but I just don't think he's like I don't want to say he's not likable. I just want to say he's easy to not like. Does that make sense? I mean, I like the guy. My conversations with him, I've always enjoyed him. He knows what I say when I say it, and if I think he's screwing up, I'll talk about it. But I like Nick Caserio, for sure. I know this is a deep cut, but I do wish Thomas Booker would have worked out. Yeah, he was at the. I thought it was interesting with Thomas Booker. He was at the Miko press conference last year. Seemed like a pretty swell dude. But yeah, Scott Davis says D'Amico worked with Armstead. If he thinks he's not worth $17 million, I trust his opinion. The Collins Pierce piece of it is baffling. It's like we're missing half the trade. He probably just wasn't part of their plans, man. I mean, look, Malik Collins was the first guy that D'Amico Ryans extended when he was here. Like he went to minicamp, and that was the first guy that got money with D'Amico in the building. And you heard D'Amico Ryans say specifically he wanted to improve the D line, and Malik Collins probably just wasn't part of their plans. I don't think there's too much baffling about that. Yeah. What up, Landry? You're going to be midday forever, my boy. LFG. Hey, still dominating. Those who aren't. I actually love the midday schedule. It's kind of changed a little bit. It allows me to do this. It allows me to be a dad and watch my daughter afterwards and stuff. So I actually rather have that. I don't want to have to get up at 6, and I damn sure don't want to have to get up there. So allow me to 2-piece combo and compete at a high level. Joshua says they're going to be active on who now exactly. I don't know. I don't have like a specific name of someone to go after right now. They just have they have bodies at in the interior of the D line. It's just a bunch of bodies. Maybe someone gets cut. Maybe something happens in the draft. I'm not looking at like the free agent market and seeing anyone that you just have to have. But there's really no hurry. They'll be fine for sure. I feel the only criticism, this is Thomas. I feel the only criticism for the Collins trade is the compensation. He's more valuable than what we got in return. What do you think Malik Collins is worth? Like what? I heard, I think someone said this, I think it might've been Bajani. Shout out to Sean Bajani, Area 45 nights on Sports Radio 610. What do you think he's worth? I mean, I think he's a decent player. Dallas wanted to get rid of him. You brought him in. Yeah, I don't really know what do you think Collins is worth? Maybe I just don't like Malik Collins as much as a lot of people. I don't dislike him. I just think, it's not like we're sitting here. Shout out from San Antonio, Texas, also known as a Cowgirl City. I love flying my Texans colors, letting them know game Texans strong. Shout out to you. I don't really know why people like Malik Collins so much. I like him fine. But I don't feel like they're like replacing Jonathan Grenard or something like that. I just don't. I feel like you can find a Malik Collins, and I trust this organization to find a Malik Collins. That's just me. Maybe I'm just being disrespectful to him. Yeah, Bubba, you weren't blocked, but appreciate the super. Thanks, man. Recurring problem here in 610 in the last 2 weeks. Longtime fan. Shout out. Let's fix the O line. C. Williams. Oh, so we're going O line now. Merrick says this is just another case of fans overvaluing their own players. I guess I didn't know that Malik Collins was this popular. I'll be honest. I didn't. I had no idea. Third or fourth for Malik Collins. Okay. All right, sir. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know about all that. The general was on Texans radio earlier and said he saw the new uniforms and they look spectacular. I don't know how I feel about this opinion. I saw them. I'll be honest with you, I saw them. I wouldn't have brought it up if you hadn't brought it up because the reality of the situation is I'm not a jackass. So, there's probably some I wasn't gonna say anything, but he said it. So I can't describe them. I can't tell you what they look like. I can tell you that they're gonna drop on April 23rd at 10 a.m. I can tell you that the 15th there's going to be a explanation of how they made them. But I've always said this, and if y'all listen to me, you know this. I'm not really like. There's a lot of like unlikable qualities with me whenever I'm speaking. Sometimes like I say what I believe. It's not fake, and that's the stupidest like compliment thing, but a lot of times it can be a little bit over the top, try to make it as calculated as possible. But I don't like brag. I like to be, if I'm going to say something, I don't like to be vague and not tell the listeners. I always value the listeners and stuff. So, sometimes you'll be listening to the radio and someone will be like, yeah, I know what happened, but I can't tell you. Well, don't bring that issue up. Like when I was a producer, I would push the dump button on people on that. Cause if you're just telling listeners, hey, look at me, I did this, I did that, you're not really bringing them in and you're not really informing them. So I wasn't really even going to like mention it because if you can't talk about it, what am I doing? Am I just saying, hey, I saw him and y'all didn't? Yeah, I saw him. And yeah, that's all I could say. I think y'all will be interested. I'll let y'all give the reviews. I can't say nothing. But yeah, I don't know what to say. McLean says they looked fantastic. I'll let y'all be the judge of it. That's crazy that he brought that up, huh? I didn't even. Let me check this out. Let me see what y'all are talking about. How much he said. Shout out to everyone on here. Y'all know we just F around at night. Let's see. Did he tweet it or did he just say it on Texans radio? Let's see. McLean be retweeting everybody, man. Okay, here it is. Let's share this. Just if he wants to say a lot, then we'll let him say a lot. Just got off my weekly appearance on Texans radio, and I'll tell you what I told them. We got to see the Texans new uniforms today, and I think they're spectacular. The unveiling for fans will be at the draft. It'll be on the 23rd, actually. People just say they can't wait. Don't tease us. Leak them. McLean thinking they're good isn't a good thing. Blah blah blah. Okay, so that's all he said. Okay. Confirmed if they look like the Oilers, John likes them. Yeah. I promise you, like if I could, I would. We're not supposed to say anything. We could say that we saw him, but I wasn't even gonna say it because again, I don't know the point of it. Other stuff that happened with the Texans today, man. Joe Mixon. What a press conference by Joe Mixon. Y'all know I like the podium. I'm a big fan of guys at the podium. Danielle Hunter, not really. I think he's more about that action. Not terrible, but he's about that action. But Joe Mixon, let's sit back and watch Joe Mixon, who, by the way, got an extension. $10 million in the first year, then $13 million guaranteed and $27 million total. So Texans make an investment in Joe Mixon. And Joe Mixon showed some emotion. And the thing I want you to watch on this Joe Mixon thing, I think he's going to get you excited, is you can tell that not March 23rd, April 23rd. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why McLean brought that up. But Joe Mixon, you can tell it's been a rough week for him, man. An emotional one. You know, you grow in Cincinnati, you go through everything that he went through in Cincinnati. They sign Zach effing Moss, and they basically choose Zach Moss over you, and then they cut you, or they basically going to move on from you. They trade you, so you don't even get to pick your destination, and you're kind of shuffling. And I think I looked at this press conference, and I think you should as well. I think you'll enjoy it. It's almost like Joe Mixon is going from Monday to Thursday in this press conference, where he's taking you back in his emotions. He's talking about how hurt he was. And then he kind of gasses himself up to the present, to where he gets kind of excited. I think you're going to love this Joe Mixon press conference. I sure as hell did. Let's react to it. Let's listen to it. You're about to be pumped. I think Joe Mixon might win over some fans in the locker room. Here's Joe Mixon at the podium.
Before you guys ask questions, if you guys can state your name and affiliation, that'd be helpful. Appreciate it.
Joe, Aaron Wilson from KPRC2 TV. When you think about how you're fit into this offense,
How are you going to fit into the offense? They didn't have the mics up.
feel about kind of what your style play is for this offense?
Yeah, I feel honestly, I feel great being in this here situation. Got a great group of guys around me. Talk to the coaches, and just where they see me playing in this here offense is definitely exciting times, man. So I just can't wait to get going. So yeah.
What'd you think about
Yeah,
the
man.
team?
Well, CJ, he's a phenomenal player. I mean, obviously, he was the Rookie of the Year, and that ain't by no fluke. I think that we have a great group of guys in this here locker room. I was talking with D'Amico, and it's a lot of guys running around, young, don't know no better, and ready to get after it. And, you know, I've definitely been fortunate to be a part of something like that. So it's a great thing coming into this situation and, you know, basically picking up where I left off, man. So definitely in a great position here and definitely excited to, you know, start with my new beginnings.
Little timid, just wait. Comps from the Bengals and the Texans here. That's that question from my man, DJB.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really say similar. Only reason why is just because I really haven't been in here too much to really know and get around and see the guys, going and things like that. But, the guys in Cincinnati, great group of guys. And, I tip my hat out to everybody in that locker room, man. And, with the guys in here, it's a great feeling to feel wanted and be around and, just feel like you're going to be a part of that offense and a big part of it. And, for me, I can't do nothing but, be thankful for that, be in this position, and get ready for what's to come. And I'm definitely excited for it, and I'm definitely looking forward to this season for sure. Appreciate it.
For a second, what was your initial reaction when you found out that you were
Man,
What was your reaction? Here you go. This is where you see the emotion.
It was definitely a shocker. I could just say that. It was definitely a shocker.
That's it. He'll elaborate. Just wait. He'll elaborate.
You said you spoke with the coaching staff. What did they see envision your role being and how you fit?
What do they envision your role being? Run the effing ball. Early and often.
I think these guys, like I said earlier, they're young, they fly around, they make plays, and I think that, where I could come in is, bringing that part of that attitude and getting the guys to come along and being able to, make plays and finish the job and get over the hump. I mean, that's what they brought me in for, and I firmly feel like I'll be able to get the job done and make things happen. So I definitely look forward to it, and, I'm just ready to get after it, honestly.
There you go. About to warm up. Joe Mixon introductory press conference here. I know you are a bit
Oh, yeah,
talking about the
man.
mic. I'll tell you.
When I talked to D'Amico about, 2 days ago, for me, I thought, when I got on the phone with him, it was a hell of a feeling, man. It was like, me feeling like I want to be here, like he embraced me, and he made me feel like I'm wanted, and I love that about him. He was once a player as well, and I think that with what he brings in terms of his intensity and him wanting to be around a great group of men that wants to he pretty much lead by example. And if you see him, he's very enthusiastic on the sideline. He's jumping up and down while his players making plays. And who wouldn't want to play for a guy like that, man? So I'm definitely feel like I'm here. I fit the culture and what they do and what they want to bring. So it's definitely a humbling time to be here, and I'm definitely ready and excited for this new beginning for sure.
What do you think of the culture is the question here. Y'all right about the mics, man. They got to get them up. In press conferences like this, like the weeklies, sometimes it's tough, but press conferences like this, no doubt.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
the
man.
questions might need to be quiet.
It was no different like how we were in Cincinnati. We struggled at first when the head coach was there, and I felt like, we brought in a great group of guys. Thought that ownership did a hell of a job bringing them guys in and signed a lot of free agents, did a great job in the draft, got some special players, and I think that we put everything together. And I think that what we got boiling here is pretty much the same thing. I thought the, ownership here, they did a hell of a job with getting, guys like me. You got Danielle Hunter, and they bring in a lot of guys, and them just 2 players. But I think they brought in maybe like 8 guys free agency and things like that. But I just, the things that they got cooking in here, the city, they should definitely be excited because it's nothing but excited things to be excited about. So I think that what we got here cooking right now is on the right track, and it's a lot of things to look forward to.
Here we go. He's about to warm up. We're getting to Tuesday now. He's got his Monday mindset. Wait for this. Here you go.
She'll be released. Then all of a sudden, a trade.
Warming up, man.
Motivational fuel to say, hey, well,
There he goes.
I'm not only happy to be here, but I want to show the Bengals what they're missing out.
For me, like I said, it was definitely shocking. I took that 24 to 48 hours to hurt. It took a while, and I'm still, having, emotional feelings about it. But that's a place, where I could forever feel like that's home for me. And, like I said, I'm just very grateful that, them fans, they embraced me the way that they did. And I just love everything about the way that them fans were. We bought the city of Cincinnati. We got it lit back again.
Yes, they need mics in the press room. I gotcha. I feel ya.
And, I plan on bringing that same thing here. These fans, I'm sure, they got a taste of it last year, but I feel like with what we got in the making, man, I think that it's going to be a great thing. And, like I said, man, I'm just excited to be here, feel wanted, and, I just can't wait to make the most of my opportunity when my number is called.
Throughout your career, you've had 1,200 or more scrimmage yards 5 times in your career. What's allowed you to be that effective, that dual threat?
Talk about his career production. Just wait till he warms up here. Chancellor Johnson's going to get the best out of him.
I've had a hell of a run in Cincinnati. I think that, the way that I train in the offseason plays a major part in that. With the opportunities that I got, pretty much tried to make the most of it. I thought that, with my running back coach, Jay Hill, I thought Justin Hill, by the way, he did a hell of a job with making sure, he was motivated each and every day. I think that, that's what changed our whole perspective of, the way we attack the day. And, I just can't say nothing but great things about him because, I think that in terms of really taking that turn and leap of being a pro, I think that he definitely helped me become that pro that I am today, man. So, shout out to my guy, Jay Hill, and, I obviously wish him the best in his career and what he's going to do because I think that he'll do great things. But, like I said, for me, it's more so, just attacking the offseason and, my number being called, deliver. I mean, I was fortunate enough, bro, to have a lot of group of men around me that they were all special. You know what I'm saying? We had Chase out there. We had T. We had TB. We had a few really good tight ends, my years being there. And,
Joe Burrow.
we had Joe Burrow. So,
There you go.
I had a hell of a supporting cast around me, man. And I think that what we got here is, the same type of firepower, bro. So I definitely look forward to, like I said, being a big part of this. And I'm very excited, man, to come out here with my new teammates, bro, and, really, get after it for real. So definitely look forward to it.
There you go.
Johnson out of KPRC. This one's pretty simple. What are the Houston Texans getting?
Here you go. This is the
Yeah,
money
man,
quote. You ready?
One is a leader. I've been a captain the last 3 years in Cincinnati. When I speak, I lead and, speak with command. Guys, they listen and they feed off of me. And, I'm going to just continue to still be the same person that I've been since I walked in out there when I was 20 years old, man. And I've always been a leader, lead by example, and I do be a vocal leader as well. I think that they're definitely getting a playmaker, and I think that the way things was being explained and the meetings that they're willing to showcase everything that I could do, which is very exciting. I've been waiting for this a long time, and I just can't wait to make the most of every opportunity that I can, man, because I just know the type of player that I am and the guys that's around here and the supporting cast around. I think that I definitely could take this thing to the next level. And, with the quarterback we got in CJ, man, like I said, he's phenomenal, and I know for a fact he's going to make that next jump. And that's in terms of them playoff wins. But obviously, we take them one game at a time.
We got him.
Got to build the
Getting his
camaraderie
leadership
around the
hat on.
team. And I feel like with me coming in here, and I'm sure they already got that as well, but, I'm here to make sure we all gel together at a high level. We all competing, and we're going to do that each and every day, whether it's on the field, off the field. I think that, like I said, what we got in the making here is going to – everybody, I think Houston got nothing but, great things coming their way, and, to be proud with everything that we're building here.
Damn. Okay.
You mentioned D'Amico having played in
Here you go. He's in his rhythm now.
enticing for players?
Blood's boiling. Here you go.
Look for a destination. And what do you feel like the biggest benefits were in having played for a coach who had played? I mean, Zach Taylor also played in the league as well.
Well, with D'Amico, man, if you just see him on the sidelines, bro, like you could tell, like he want to be out there. Like he running around, he jumping, he doing all the things that a player do. You know, they all turned up, getting after it, and I think that with what D'Amico brings, you know, he's bringing that player that he was, and all he doing is transition it into coaching. And I think that he does a great job with leading his defense for number one, you know, making sure they match his intensity. And I truly feel like he's the one who has that train going, and obviously it correlates to the players. And I think that, you know, Houston have a hell of a defense. I mean, they got a lot of young guys, you know, just getting after it. They fly into the football, you know, causing turnovers and things like that. And I think that, like I said, what we got on offense, we're gonna do the same thing in terms of, you know, scoring a lot of touchdowns, making a lot of splash plays. And I feel like as we playing complementary football, I think would be a damn team to be reckoned with, man. So I definitely look forward to this 2024 season, man, and I'm just very excited.
Last one, Cole.
Last one.
Two-part question. Most fans are always wondering what next jersey.
What jersey number you're going to wear? 28.
Yeah, man. I thought about changing it, but I think I'm going to stick to the 2-8. Just go ahead and stick to the traditional number of running backs, and 2-8 is going to be where it is. And I promise you, like I said,
Promise.
you can expect a lot from that number this year. I promise you that.
And then you played with two of the best young receivers in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Yeah.
You played with two of the other young best receivers in Tank Dell and
Nico and Tank with T. Higgins and Chase. Question? Yes,
Yeah,
we'll do
man. Even Noah Brown, too. I think that he's a hell of a player as well. I mean, I think he ran it up for 200 on us. in Cincinnati,
Noah,
man, and
shout out.
It was like, damn, like, I mean, like I said, I'm kind of familiar with the players that we have here. You know, not too much, but you know, Tank Dell, he's a hell of a young guy. I think he's a rookie, and I think that you know his sky is the limit, man. I mean, he could do whatever, you know, in space. You know, taking the top off the defense. And, I mean, I think Noah Brown did the same thing. And Collins, I mean, he's a very good possession, and he'll go get it down deep too, man. So I definitely feel like, you know, with what we have here, we got the right things stirring and cooking, and we just got to make sure we bringing everybody, you know, along the way to, you know, being on the road to greatness. But, you know, in terms of, you know, with the offense, I think that we just got to do whatever we can, man, to take care of the football, make plays, and obviously come with that intensity each and every week. And I think that we'll be happy with the results that we get.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
You could tell. I mean, he started out a little tense, didn't want to compare anything. And then as he got more comfortable, started kind of talking about his new situation. Seemed like he was excited about it. And I mean, this isn't like, you know, Danielle Hunter coming home and getting all that money and making the decision his own. I mean, if Joe Mixon had hit the market, I think Houston would have had a chance to get him because I think it's an appealing destination. I think he fits in. But the reality is, I mean, I'm sure they talked to him before they traded him, but I mean, he really didn't have a choice. And I think in his perfect world, understandably, you know, with Joe Burrow coming back, with what he's seen built from the ground up in Cincinnati, I'm sure that he would like to have finished his career there. I mean, think about it. It would be like if Nico Collins, 3 years from now or something like that, the Texans go to the Super Bowl and then they're knocking on the door, and then all of a sudden you get traded. Like, that's tough, man. You go through the mud and then you go up there. That happens, but it does seem like Joe Mixon's kind of bought in, and we'll see how it works out. Going to be here for a while. Be sure to hit the like button for sure. But I enjoyed the hell out of that Joe Mixon press conference. I thought it was good. Seems like listen to him. Seems like he's right kind of guy for them. and he's in there on that. And he's, it's been a wild week for him. So yeah, feel good about having the running back. Cody asks, do you feel good about having the running back? Yeah, for sure. Ted says he likes the Stoots locker double feature. Yeah, we rotate. It's my boy, man. I think he does as good of a job covering the Texans as anyone. For sure, the best that's there daily, and I think I do the best job talking about him daily. So I think it's a good combination. The extension, I mean, it's low risk. It's not a huge commitment. So I mean, 2-year for sure commitment, and then after that, you figure out how it's going down. It's about the market value, and I mean, been a captain 3 straight years. They seem to value that. So there's that. I like Danielle Hunter for sure, but I don't think his press conference was really like anything to write home about. Other stuff when it comes to the Texans here in the locker room, couple of offensive weapons that we've actually talked about here. They are signing with teams that are competing with the Texans. Curtis Samuel, 3-year, $30 million deal, $15 million guaranteed. He's going to Buffalo. I was intrigued by the possibility of him perhaps being a bargain here. Pretty good deal if you can untap that potential, and maybe having a good quarterback and a good organization will help him. I liked Samuel. I actually predicted this deal right on the money. And there's a video that Stutz and I did on Hollywood Brown. The thing about Hollywood Brown is that I thought that he could be this year's Dalton Schultz, where he signed a 1-year deal. I think Schultz's was a little less than $10 million because the draft is deep this year at wide receiver. I'm not making this up. You can go look at the sign or decline Hollywood Brown. And I think I've been mentioning this throughout free agency. He's going to do it with a good quarterback. I mean, Hollywood Brown signs a 1-year deal with the Chiefs for like $11 million, I think was the total. No brainer. And this is the kind of deal I thought the Texans could have got with Hollywood. I think this is awesome for the Chiefs. I think this is good for Hollywood Brown. And does it suck that it's not with the Texans? Maybe. But I like kicking the tires on Hollywood Brown and seeing what's going on there for sure. Ryan, Xavier Howard signed, my friend. As did a safety. We have a safety off the board. Cameron Curl signs a 2-year deal, $13 million with the Rams. If this is what the safety market's going to be, the Texans should definitely get in it, because the people are not paying safeties right now, and the Texans could use some improved safety play in many ways. Again, this isn't giving up on Jalen Petrie, but if this is the type of situation that and the type of contracts that they're getting, you might want to get your ass in there and get you a safety. No doubts. But a couple of moves there that kind of impact the Texans. Biggest story of the day to kind of reset it, the Armstead snowball effect. Jacksonville gets done dirty by the Titans. The Titans sign Calvin Ridley. The Jags then decide to pivot, and they sign Arik Armstead. Armstead in the division. Jacksonville with a good D-line. Texans kind of looking for a defensive tackle. So that just kind of happened. And there's a lot of layers to that. Gotta think that the Titans now won't be drafting a receiver. Who knows what the Jags are going to do? But if Armstead's healthy and you have him, Walker, and Allen, that's a scary D-line in Jacksonville. Do you fear Armstead in the division? Yes or no? Do you fear Armstead in the division? Yes or no? That would be the question. Do you fear him? Yes or no? Also, other question, is defensive line the number one priority? My answer would be no. Look, there's going to be opportunity for you to improve the D line. Someone's going to get released. Maybe someone falls to you in the draft. Maybe they like someone. So but if wide receivers there in the first round, go get it. You need more weapons on offense. The top priority, I'm not freaking out because you got a rotational D line right now. I'm just not there yet. You're gonna have some holes. I'm not freaking out about it. I think you got enough versatility on the edge. If you have guys on the interior that aren't the biggest of names, it's fine. I'm not freaking out about the Malik Collins thing. A lot of people seem to love Malik Collins. I think he's fine. I'm not as big on Malik Collins as a lot of people, at all, even a little bit. And I'm not really worried about that. They'll be fine. I think he's closer to just a guy than he is, Arik Armstead in his prime. So maybe I'm wrong, but that's just how I look at it. I'm not going to freak out about Malik Collins, and I'm damn sure not going to freak out with 6 months left having to replace a D line when you've added some other stuff. It's not there. Sorry, I don't like this line of thinking though. This sucks. CJ Stroud makes average players great players. Screw that. I don't like that mindset. That was what they probably thought in Indianapolis before Andrew Luck was eating lunch out of a straw, and they weren't surrounding him with weapons. I'm not going there. Get him some damn weapons. If Dell hadn't gone down and Brown was banged up, the Texans would have gone further last year. Okay, let's think about that for a second, because Tank Dell missed 8 games. Nico's missed 13 and 3. Noah, Baltimore lost J.K. Dobbins. They didn't have Mark Andrews for most of the year, and he wasn't 100% when he came back. Let's just go through the rest of the league. Cincinnati lost Joe Burrow. They had Jamar Chase banged up. They were without T. Higgins for a while. Pittsburgh lost their quarterback. The Colts lost their quarterback. The Dolphins' entire defense was hurt. Entire defense. Literally their entire defense except Christian Wilkins was hurt. The Colts secondary was nicked up. So sure, but that's just kind of part of it. I don't disagree. And we don't know whether or not Tank Dell's banged up or what. I don't even know. But yeah, I don't really think that's a thing. Just Chad says, dudes saying ish they hear on TV now. Can you elaborate on that, my friend? Maybe you're talking in the chat. I want to know what's been said on TV or what's going on in the chat. Let me know there. By the way, that drink ain't full either, brother. You ain't full of nobody. You did that for the gram, sir. There ain't nothing in that cup. Let's be serious, man. You put that to see this cup? This cup's empty. It's just Chad right here. Check out my thread. I'm sipping. Jay Games, Hunter versus Tunsil. Who you got? What do you mean? Like you're talking in one-on-one drills in practice? Yeah, the Browns lost 4 quarterbacks. There you go. I think that's a good point too, Johnny. Everybody got injured. Of course, you would like to have Tank Dell. It's just the chances are, and I think most of y'all can agree with this. And we're talking about Tank Dell and Noah Brown. The chances are that you're going to say this every year. Like every year, you're going to say, if we had this guy. So that's all I'm saying there. Jay Games, Hunter versus Tunsil. I think just it kind of depends. I am intrigued by these one-on-one matchups though, for sure. No doubt. Joey _ Texas. I joined late. Did you say your opinion on the new jerseys? Man, I can't look. Here's the thing, and I said this to the folks before. I appreciate the super chat, my friend. I wasn't even going to bring up that I saw the uniforms today because I'm not allowed to say anything. Like it's not. We're not even allowed to say anything. So why would I have brought up that I saw the uniforms if I'm just going to tell y'all? Am I going to go nanny boo boo? I wasn't going to say anything about it. I guess McClain said it on Texans radio, and McClain said tweeted it. So he said he loved them. They're fine. You can check them out. But the only reason it's a super chat, and you're asking, I can't say a damn thing about it. So I wasn't going to sit here and say I saw it because I can't say anything to you. And my whole thing is getting to talk to you, talk with you. So yeah, I saw them. And that's it. Sorry, I can't really say much more about it. I wasn't gonna do that. McClain's the man, dude. I love McClain. I'm gonna go eat breakfast with McClain next month. He's one of the nicest guys in the world. He lets me take him to task. We don't just kind of go boring. But as far as like media types, McClain should be way meaner of a guy than he is. He's the nicest human being on the face of the earth. No doubt about it. So I don't know if there's anything that sucks about John McClain. I love that man. Very much. Can't spoil it, man. Can't spoil it. Man, we never got the update on the TV thing with the cup sipping, did we? Damn. That's messed up. Didn't get it. Getting a lot of Calais Campbell mention. I wouldn't mind it. Seems like he's going to play till he's 90. I like Calais Campbell. I don't know. Is he still going to? I mean, is he still going to? What's going on with him? That would be funny. I know he's kind of a love guy in Jacksonville. He was in Atlanta last year. How many games did he play? He played every game. 6.5. Hey. Might be something to keep an eye on. Who knows? I like Calais. I like what he's made of. But yeah. What's a win-loss record? Man, I don't know, bro. It's early as hell. We will see. But yeah, I appreciate everyone for rolling through. Be sure to listen tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. I don't know, man. I don't know. I have no. I guess just kind of a sneak peek of it. Look, I'm not on the beat or anything like that. I don't know what. I don't think the media is known for being quiet. I'm damn sure not. But I don't know. I guess it was just a sneak peek. So, yeah. Yeah, he deserves a slime ball. Slime ball's an endearing term. Shout out to John McClain. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Tomorrow, we're going to try to put a bow on the first week of free agency. Maybe the Texans will do something. Really hasn't been an overly quiet day. Even when it's quiet, it's not quiet. So the fun times are ahead, and I much appreciate y'all for coming through, supporting the channel, supporting the radio station. Be sure to subscribe, like, and listen to Sports Radio 610. Also, be sure to listen to In the Loop at 10 a.m. Y'all are crazy. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Thank y'all very much. We're all in this together, too. Don't ask me about any damn uniforms, okay? I wasn't going to bring it up. Bye.
Locker room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, locker room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do. We the source, we the pulse of the city too. Landlocked, got the game in the headlock. Localize every time, can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, we top 2 and we not too plugged in daily digital on YouTube. We got taste for days, opinions to give, we got takeaways. If it's up, then it's up. We number one. You don't need to try your luck. Locker room, yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk, yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do. We the source, we the pulse of the city too.